Hey, what's up, guys? Man, whew, can just barely see your breath this morning. We're getting to where temperature's starting to come down, and outside work is going to be a little more pleasant. But anyhow, I'm standing here in front of this gorgeous piece of machinery, and man, just look at it. 300-inch wheelbase of Marmon 57P. And today, we're going to take these frame rails Jessica got all painted up, and we're going to put them in this truck with a little undercoating between the two rails, and we're going to bolt them all up. Now, a couple things I need to do. Got to get them flipped over and do the insides real quick. Then I got to go to town, pick up some spray and undercoating, and then get these things bolted in. And once that's done, we get the crossmember cleaned up, get that bolted in, and start running some air lines and start sorting through electrical. And let's get this thing going, huh? Let's go. All right, here we go. Alright, so this looks pretty good. Remember, this is just to keep the two frame pieces from rusting together. This can is leaking pretty good. But oh well. That'll be good for now. We'll let those things dry. We've got the inside of the frame rail done as well. And so you see some primer overspray and stuff. That's okay, because you don't see this. This just goes inside the frame rail. We just wanted to get it protected so it didn't create rust in between. We're going to go to town. We'll get some undercoating. We'll get some undercoating sprayed in that frame rail and then get these things bolted together. We do have one hole. We do have a couple holes that I had to weld next to that now need to be drilled out. So we'll probably get that done right quick. Not sure how we're even going to do it yet, but we'll get in there and we'll get that cleaned up. Maybe just use a burr. We'll see if we have one. We'll get that hole cleaned up. Do is I want this to not rust in between, right? So I'm just gonna spray some undercoating in there. And hope that this does. You know, I've seen undercoated cars and they don't rust, that's for sure. So spray that down and then we'll grab this piece over here. Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to come down this way a little bit. A little bit more. What we got? Yeah. Looks pretty good right there. Well, we'll get a pin and we'll pull it in place. Wish we had some washers. Let me see if I have any 3/4 inch washers. I'll bring it back. We'll make sure we can get bolts in all of these before we get going too crazy, right? Yep, looks like it. Yep, I like it. Okay. Yeah, I like it a lot. All right, let's get her tight. Alright, so you notice we only put one in every other one, right? Because we're going to use some special bolts. There ain't no sense in having to take them all out when you can just take out the ones that you're going to, or you can just put them in, stagger them the opposite way and then take out and put in the rest. I don't know if that's a great idea or not, but that's what I'm doing. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for that side. We got 2, 4, 6. Got 2, 4, 5 nuts. 6 nuts, 7, 8 nuts. We just got to find the other bolts. I know we had them out here. Alright, what did the guy do with that? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got 8 bolts. Each side holding it in. We're ready for the special bolts. And yeah, I dig it. Nice. Now I gotta drill a couple holes. Not really sure. I only got to drill 2 because the other 2 aren't through that frame. So we got to drill those 2 holes on each side, and then we'll clean up those air tank mounts and get those mounted. And then we can start looking at electrical and maybe bring the electrical back up there and run it across and bring it down this side. I think the electrical for this truck is on this side. But you know what? Let's put it down that side because why not, you know? Let's see how that works out. Okay, those are done. Now we'll clean up those brackets, get those tanks remounted. We'll probably put new tanks on, but we're gonna get the things cleaned up and painted and put on, and yeah, and go from there. It's pretty cool. All right, so got those wire wheeled off, and we're probably going to replace the brackets and the tanks, but I want to get going on air lines, and even if we do replace these tanks, the air lines will be the same, so we're going to get that going. We'll see how these tanks and brackets clean up with the sandblaster, and in the meantime we'll get the mating surfaces protected. You know what I mean? Put that one in. This will get us started on getting the air lines configured. Alright, now we'll get the Crossmember in. We'll get to clean it up and then get it in. We can put these brackets on and get those bolted in. Alright, so what I'm doing here is I'm just putting the Crossmember brackets in. Oops. Come on now. Ow. Okay. And my wrench is stuck on there, so why wouldn't it be, you know? Alright. Got him. Okay, so now we'll take that bracket inside the shop and I hate the way these look. This truck, for some reason, had 3/4 inch air line going to the brake valve. I called around, hell, none of the trucking companies around here even stocked that. So I reduced it to 5/8. Doesn't make any sense to have 3/4 on there, but we'll have to see what the anti-lock brakes require, because that may be the caveat. But for now, we're going to stay at 5/8 because that's what I have. And yeah, we've just been going through and changing stuff. I got to find out what this is. This is probably the brake pedal, and it's 1/2 inch, and I don't have any 1/2 inch coming back from the truck, so it could be yeah, it could be that I need a 1/2 inch coming back from the truck, but all I have is 3/8, so we may end up changing that one to 3/8 just to see. We have to get the truck aired up now that I have this line done. Now that I have this line done, we can air up the truck, I think. What? So all I have is 3/8 lines coming to the back. I should have I don't know what this is. This 3/8. I've got 6 3/8 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 6 3/8 lines coming back to the back. Plus, I think this one here is the diff lock. Pretty sure it is. Got to put a elbow in there. These are self-explanatory, hopefully. But yeah, I'm gonna air up the truck now, and we'll press the brake pedal, and we'll see which one of these goes crazy. And then I don't have enough to do the whole thing. I might order some 1/2 inch. I might have some 1/2 inch. There's 2 different relay valves. This truck has a 10 psi relay valve on it. They also make a 5.5 psi relay valve for a quicker actuation of the valve. But this truck came with a 10 psi one, so that's the one we're gonna. This cutoff came with a 10 psi valve. And that's the one we're going to replace it with for right now. If I decide later I want to try that 5.5, I might do it, but we're going to try and get the brakes to work with anti-lock. I got to get an anti-lock module and then find out if it's standalone. I don't think it interfaces with the truck ECM, but it could. So if it does have to interface with the ECM, then we'll be getting rid of all the electronic stuff on this clip, but I don't want to. I would like anti-lock brakes on here just so it's easier for Jessica to drive without locking them up and putting flat spots on $8,000 worth of tires. It's really not $8,000. It's really only $4,000 worth of tires, but it's going to feel like $8,000 because $4,000 worth of tires from one overly aggressive brake check sucks. So we'll get the truck aired up. I'll find the air valve. Oh, it's right here. I'll air the truck up and see what happens. Huh? I'll grab the air line. All right, so we've got this air hose regulated to 110 psi, so we can just leave it plugged in. Okay, this is probably, I don't know what that is, but nothing should have air on it right now. Unless this comes from one of those air tanks. I don't know what that is. I guess it could be the supply for the airbags, but really that should wait until a tank has 90 psi in it. So I'm gonna have to see where that comes from. But I would say that the airbag shouldn't come up on this truck until after the truck tanks get full. Now this could be that tank. Alright, so you ask what's going on right now, yeah? Well, I'm just finding leaks. I'm airing the system up. And everywhere that air comes out, I'm blocking it off. Because really the truck shouldn't send air to the back until oh, look at that, would you? That's crazy. You shouldn't send air to the back till it's over 90 psi. You know, you shouldn't just have your air system go into your air suspension, because then that's a leak. So there should be a check valve that doesn't let air out of the system until 90 psi, and then it should start feeding your peripherals. And that way, if you get a leak in your peripherals, and I'm calling it peripherals, but it could be anything, secondary, whatever you want to call it. But if you get a leak in your peripheral air system, you don't want it to drain your brakes. And so for that, they put these check valves in, and the tank gets to 90 psi, and then it'll supply air to the tank that handles your airbags and, you know, whatever else, your diff lock and all that other stuff. And then it isolates your main air system to protect you on the brakes. And so there was a hose up here that somebody had hooked up, and it wasn't going to anything. It just cut off. And so likely it was to something that was on the old truck. And so we're going to eliminate all the extra crap and just put in the stuff that we know we need, and then we can add extra crap later the proper way, because who knows who added the extra crap, if it's interfering with other systems or not. And so right now I'm just plugging this hole. Okay, then we're gonna plug in the air again. And our object right now is to get the truck to air up and not have any leaks. And then once we do that, we can go and press levers and we can mark. I already hear another air leak, I think. Now once the truck comes to 90 psi, it should develop a leak somewhere, and then that leak should be to the airbags. I'm guessing it's this one. Yeah. So this one right here is the main line for the brakes. This is what this is where the brakes get their trigger. So that's that. Let me get some tags. So I'm trying to think what the best way to do this is, and I think what I'll do is I'll nip those zip ties, and I think that line comes into a block right there, an air block, and I'll put in a 1/2 inch DOT fitting, and we'll run this 1/2 inch line right here will end up being this 1/2 inch line will end up being the relay line. And right now the relay line is gone because I knocked it over, but I think this will be good. This is a good plan. We'll run this up here into that block. We'll find out which one of that is. Run this into that block, and then we'll zip tie it back in. We'll pull the old one out and zip tie that one back in loosely and get that run. And so that can be that. Okay, so I'm going to continue to go this direction. Okay, I'm going to get out and double check that we got the correct wire, because it doesn't seem like we do at this point. I don't understand what that thing is, but it is not good. That is the dip lock. This wheel. And park the brakes. Yeah. I don't rightly know. Okay. Yeah. Oh. 1% battery remaining. Nothing I could do. Well, man, it's been a long day. Let's do a quick little walk around and show you what's going on. All right, so been doing airlines. We replaced these bag-to-bag airlines, bag-to-bag, and then I'm still trying to figure out because I really don't know why this has this line. It just kind of goes up front, and I don't have any idea why, but we're gonna probably just put a single inlet in there and see. We replaced this valve right here. It was causing a backflow into the rear, but we got, right now we have it so we can set and release the parking brake, and we can get on the brakes all the way, and no leaks. Now we do have this Betty had 2 relay valves, so it's got 2 feed lines from the pedal, and we just found that, and so we're gonna backtrack that in there and take it off and cap it. We also have 2 lines. I think it had was supposed to have 2 leveling valves, and these were the air feeds to the leveling valves, and we only need 1 of those, so we're going to backtrack that, cap the one, and then run a new line from the front all the way to the back to the leveling valve, and then the air system will work. Now there is no fail safety check valve on this truck, and called my buddy Tony Martin to see what I needed to do about that, and he said a lot of trucks didn't even come with it. He said even with a 3/8 line, if you blow an airbag, it's not going to be enough to bleed your system dry, and so they just quit putting them on trucks. Maybe that's contrary to what you guys have been told and stuff, but I mean, he knows a lot about trucks. Now I also got to get an ECM for the not an ECM but a PCM for the anti-lock brakes, and I'm also going to change the front axle on this truck and put unimounts on the front, and I'll probably do the anti-lock for the front brakes as well. You know, I don't really need to do anti-locks, but I don't want to take all that. I got all that stuff on the truck, and I might as well just get the PCM and run the wiring and make it work. That'd be super cool. Fail safe, no anti-lock. So if I don't get it figured out, it'll just be standard brakes with a whole bunch of extra valving. But I'd really would like to have anti-lock brakes. I'm super dirty today. I'll show you just a summary. We've got the frame inserts. They're 6 foot long. They're actually longer than 6 foot. They're 84 inches. And so 16 bolts, 16 3/4 inch bolts on each side. Right now you'll see that it only has every other bolt in because we're using a special structural fastener, and I'm just waiting for them to come in. We're waiting for the tool to become available to us, and then we're gonna go through and just start stabbing them in. And what they'll have is they'll have a button head, so they'll look kind of like factory, kind of like those factory hooks. So we won't have hex bolts all up and down the frame. There will be bumps. There'll be 16 on each side, but the only hex bolts you'll see. I decided we're gonna get new. I decided we're gonna get new bracketry and probably new tanks. because I don't like those. But I do like them. I do like them hanging a little bit less inside. So I don't know if we'll get offset or not, but we're gonna get new brackets, new tanks, because you're gonna be able to see those. And I don't like the way they look. And yep, we're getting closer every day. We're hoping the drive shaft's done this week. And if in fact the drive shaft is done this week, we'll be able to get the drive shaft in and air this truck up and back it out of this spot, and that'd be super cool. We won't go on any drive or anything, but we will back it out of the spot, maybe take it up and down the driveway and feel all the feels and smell all the smells, and then we'll back it up to the shop door, and then get this area cleaned. You know, this area used to be where trucks go to die, and now this area is where trucks go to get reborn. And we're just about reborn here on Black Betty, blam blam, and super excited. But anyways, guys, that's it for me today. I got a few more tools to pick up, air line to put away, compressor to shut off, doors to close, lights to turn off. I'm going inside and have me something to eat. We'll see ya.